Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
And it begins. I'm so excited to play through Master Mode of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
All right, we got the Sheikah Slate, a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. Let's see what's in here. Hey, we got well-worn trousers. These old trousers are threadbare in spots, but they're surprisingly comfortable. The legs are a bit too short, though. I wonder why. What's in here? We have an old shirt. A thin shirt made long ago. It's coming apart at the seams, but it's better than nothing. The sleeves are a bit on the short side. So let's go ahead and equip our clothes. Now, I would love to know what's in these containers. Let's see how strong our man Link is. Looks like he can't pick those up. I wonder if I can break these with the barrel. Nothing. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
You heard the mysterious voice. Authenticating. Sheikah slate confirmed.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
We have to listen to the mysterious voice. Link is the light. Now. I absolutely love that opening. I am no stranger to Breath of the Wild, but I've decided that I would like to replay this game and document as much as I can along the way. I want to share this experience with all of you, and I want to provide as much help as I can. Now, even though I've played this game a few times, I don't remember everything. I remember a lot of it. So, first thing we want to do is head down this path and meet this mysterious character over here, near the fire. I like to call him Santa. And we want to collect as many resources as possible. You have no idea how useful that can be down the road, depending on what materials you find. Well met, stranger. It's rather unusual to see another soul in these parts. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here, alone, for quite some time now. What brings you, a bright-eyed young man like you, to a place like this? Where are we? Answering your question with a question, that is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of an entire kingdom of Hyrule. That temple there, long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. I shall be here for some time. Please let me know if I may be of service. You heard the old man. We just got a baked apple. Direct heat has softened and sweetened this apple. Eat it to restore 3/4 of a heart. I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please, help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. All right. So, let's pick up this axe. Woodcutter's axe, a woodcutter's tool of choice for felling trees. Its formidable weight and uneven balancing make it a slow, inefficient weapon. I personally love to use the axe, as you can cut down trees, hit them again, and they turn into bundles of wood. A portable bundle of wood. You can use this to make a campfire if you have something to light it. You will see in the future how useful this can really be. Now, we should head towards the Temple of Time. We have our first enemy. Now, we are playing Master Mode. So the big challenge here is that enemies can regenerate weight, they hit harder, and unfortunately we have weapons that break. Any attack that causes your weapon to break becomes a critical hit, dealing twice the damage. My tree branch keeps breaking, so now I'm down to just the axe. This is not looking good. Do I have enough? I do. I had just enough to actually take out that blue bokoblin. And it dropped a resource known as the bokoblin horn, the severed horn of a bokoblin, a creature often encountered on the plains of Hyrule. It isn't edible, but it can be tossed into a stew with some critters to make an elixir.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
we have a new objective. The main quest, follow the Sheikah Slate. We also picked up the Bokoblin Fang, which is a tooth obtained from a Bokoblin. It's worn down and not very sharp, but it's still pretty hard. Cook it alongside a critter to make an elixir. So take note of that. Monster parts and bugs or critters can be combined to create an elixir, and we will show you that later in this playthrough. Bokoblin Guts, a rare material obtained by defeating a Bokoblin. It convulses on its own every now and then, which is really creepy, but perhaps it has a use. Remember, once again, we can use the trees to get bundles of wood, and we also want to collect apples. I'm opening up the Sheikah Slate because we need to go there, which is follow the Sheikah Slate. That is our first main quest that we have obtained. And we can open up the adventure log to provide even more information. And that glowing icon you see next to the right side of the window for Slate shows that that is our main objective that has been selected. Now currently it's our only one, so that's why you see that. Follow the Sheikah Slate, Great Plateau. From out of nowhere, you hear a woman's voice speak to you. She instructs you to head to the marker displayed on the Sheikah Slate. The slate is both alien and somehow familiar to you. You find that you can access it by pressing the minus button. So, that is our destination. We're going to make our way there. Before we do that, let's look over here, see if there's anything hidden. We have some barrels that sometimes contain items. The raw bird drumstick that's been cooked to a crisp skin and all. It's devoid of seasoning, but it has a simple, accessible taste. Restores more hearts than the raw variety. Not only is that useful in general, but playing Master Mode with the increased difficulty, increased damage output by enemies, and their regenerating health, it's really important that we collect as much as we can for food. This is known as an Abandoned Guardian. Make sure that you check any of these because they sometimes contain materials, mainly ancient gear, that you can use later in the game to obtain certain weapons and armor. The ancient screw was used in ancient machinery. It's made of an unknown material, and no matter how many times it's turned, its threads never seem to show signs of wear. Now, that music that we're hearing is because there's an enemy nearby, and I might need to avoid him for now. We don't have to fight every battle. We're going to do that because I do not have weapons that can do as much damage as needed in order to take out all of his health. And actually, I do want to see if there is a treasure chest over here. I believe there is. Hey! Choo Choo Jelly. I didn't get to read the description because we have some enemies nearby, but we do have a treasure chest right here, which contains even stronger pants known as the Hylian trousers, traditional dress trousers of Hyrule. The plush fabric makes these trousers quite comfortable, and their high durability makes them ideal for travelers. So, we need as much defense as possible. So as you can see, our overall defense is now at 4. Woo. Let's continue avoiding those bokoblins for now, and let's head to the temple. Just to see if there's anything here before we head to the Shrine of Resurrection. And as you can see, if you start running, you have this stamina wheel, which of course, if you run out, Link gets tired, and you have to wait for it to regenerate. As we get further in the game, we'll find ways to increase our stamina, and also create recipes like elixirs or food that restores our stamina. Once again, I'm going to avoid him because as you can see, my axe is not doing enough damage. We also have a treasure chest right here on the right, which contains the Traveler's Bow, a small bow used by travelers for protection. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can be used to attack foes from a distance. So let's go ahead and make sure that we have the bow equipped. Looks like it's already equipped. I need to avoid them because I do not have any arrows. But I do want to see if there's materials in these pots. Looks like we managed to find a bundle of arrows. A bundle of 5 common arrows. The shafts of these arrows were carved from the wood of a sturdy tree. Alright, so if we aim for its head, we can get a headshot, which can stun it. See that? Perfect. Alright, I'm gonna continue avoiding him. And let's see what's over here. We have this statue. Looks like the goddess Hylia. Let's pray. The goddess statue smiles upon you. Looks like there's nothing at the moment. So for now, we'll head out of here. And we are going to head towards that glowing marker at the bottom right of the screen, which is known as our destination. Now, if we crouch, we can sneak up onto critters that are sensitive to sound. The summer winged butterfly, a butterfly found in the woods and plains of warm regions. Its wings absorb the warmth of the sun. Cook it with monster parts to create an elixir that make you feel warm and fuzzy. So that's good to know. I also highly encourage that when you're playing this game, you save early and often. The game does have an autosave feature, but I'd rather play it safe. Again, we can run, but we have limited stamina. And we have some enemies over here, and we see a rock over there. A boulder, specifically. So, let's try to make sure that we are not seen by those bokoblins. And I also see that we have barrels over here that look like they could explode. So, we'll test that theory by going up the stairs. And we're going to push this boulder right here. Let gravity take care of the rest. And if we were playing the normal file, they would be red bokoblins, or I'll just call them level 1 bokoblins, and they would normally be destroyed. But because that's not the case, and they are what I like to call level 2 bokoblins, or just blue bokoblins, they are not easily defeated. Now, I really want that shield. So, I managed to hit him with the headshot so that he would get stunned and he would drop his weapons and armor. So, we just picked up the Traveler's Sword, which is a very common sword often kept by travelers to fend off small beasts. It's fairly durable, but a bit unreliable against monsters. And now, we have our very first shield, the Boko Shield, a bokoblin-made shield created by attaching a handhold to any flat tree bark picked up off the ground. It's pretty shoddy, so don't expect it to last long. And now we have a way to protect ourselves. Well, sometimes when enemies shoot arrows at you and they happen to miss, they'll land on the ground and then you can pick them up. So, free arrows. We'll take it. Let's examine this with our Sheikah slate. Looks like we need to put the slate into the pedestal. Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. distilling local information. Regional map extracted.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
Follow the Sheikah Slate completed. As you can see, we got to see some pretty epic cutscenes. We got to see these massive towers sprout up from the ground across the land. And then we also saw that Ganon, or this form of Ganon, has now been able to escape from what looks like beneath the castle and has taken over Hyrule Castle. So we obviously need to make our way over there, but we can't quite do that just yet. You literally could, but it's not recommended. We really need to explore this world as much as possible to make Link as strong as possible so that he is ready to save the land. And I don't know about you, but I'm incredibly excited to continue playing this. So let's make our way to the bottom of this tower. Let's be careful. We don't want to fall all the way down. We will die.
Ho!
Welcome back, Santa. My. It would seem we have quite the enigma here. Actually, just to make this a little funnier, I'm going to try to sound like the old man as much as possible.
This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long-dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop that tower?
Well, I heard a voice.
Well, now, a voice, you say. And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you've caught sight of that atrocity shrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching.
Oh.
I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle?
I do.
I had a feeling you would say that. Here, on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. If you were to try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain or more foolish. Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story.
I could be rude, but we're just gonna be all confused. Pretend like we don't know what a paraglider is. Paraglider?
Piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. Worry not, I will happily agree to give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby?
The Isolated Plateau main quest.
Come, let me show you something.
So, let's follow the old man. What do you want to show me?
Do you see that structure there? The one shining with the strange light. It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe.
Okay. So why don't we head over to what we call a shrine. So we're going to play it smart. We are going to try and take him out if possible. Running out of... Actually, hold on. Why don't we do this? Why don't we use the Traveler Sword? And avoid that other bokoblin that happens to have what looks to be fire arrows. Collect those materials. We have one arrow left. Let's make sure it's well placed. Okay. He lost the bow. And now he's trying to come after me. Let's make sure we avoid those fire arrows. Now, I don't have the data to back it up, but I do believe that as you fight more and more enemies, there is a hidden experience setting. And it's what is modified on the back end so that essentially you'll end up facing stronger enemies during your playthrough. Okay, so I'm out of arrows. I would love to take out these bokoblins. Problem is, I don't have arrows or bombs. But essentially, if you were to take out all of these enemies, you would unlock the ability to get that treasure chest. But we're going to avoid it for now, and we're going to head straight to the shrine. This is going to be the best route to get there without having to swim and risk getting hit by that blue bokoblin that's shooting arrows. Okay, we're almost there. We have made it to the Oman Owl Shrine. Sheikah Slate confirmed. Travel gate registered to map. Access granted. Let's begin. Master mode aim controls. Some items like bows allow you to, well, doesn't matter. It loaded way too fast. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Oman Owl, In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. The Magnesis trial, Oman Baij Shrine. First thing we want to do is head over here to the pedestal, insert our Sheikah slate. Sheikah slate authenticated, distilling rune. Magnesis. Manipulate metallic objects using magnetism. Grab onto metallic objects using the magnetic energy that pours forth from the Magnesis rune. Objects held in the magnetic snare can be lifted up and moved freely. Rune extracted. So let's select our rune, which is Magnesis. Let's activate it. Pick up this metallic object. We can either push, pull, cancel, or move it. So we're just gonna place it right here. Drop down, look around, make sure we're not missing anything. I encourage you to explore as much as possible. And then we have a metallic object here. We also have a metallic object over there. And that's where we were at before. So let's activate it. Let's push through this wall of blocks. And we have a guardian over there. We're gonna try and attack it with the metallic object. Look at there. Easy kill. Let's pick up this gear, which is an ancient spring. A spring used in ancient machinery. It is light and buoyant enough to float on water, and no matter how many times it's compressed, it never loses tension. So, it looks like we don't have a path forward right here. Otherwise we would fall. So let's grab this metallic object and move it. So now we have a bridge to make it to this platform. And we have a metallic treasure chest up here. We're gonna go ahead and pull that our way. Drop it. Take a look, see what's inside. And we have another traveler's bow. A small bow used by travelers for protection. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can be used to attack foes from a distance. That's something to keep in mind. Sometimes it's not about the damage, it's just about the use case. Now, why don't we go ahead and open this metallic door by pulling. And now, let's meet this strange looking creature. You have proven to possess the resolve of a true hero. I am Oman Baij, the creator of this trial. I am a humble monk, blessed with the sight of goddess Hylia and dedicated to helping those who seek to defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Please accept this spirit orb. And with that, we have our very first spirit orb, which is a symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. May the goddess smile upon you. Rest in peace, Oman Baij monk. Now, as you saw, it also healed us which is very useful.
Ho!
Santa?
It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. How did you know? Clairvoyance. Or perhaps just something similar. As one gets older, it can become more difficult to see what is right before one's own eyes. However, that which was once hidden from view can often be crystal clear. But perhaps that is not true for everyone. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It is all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip there.
What do you mean?
It has been quite some time since I have seen that Sheikah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago, or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of those shrines, and I will give you my paraglider.
Now hold on. If we recall correctly, Santa specifically told me to go to this shrine, and if we completed this and brought him the treasure, which was the shrine orb, then we'll get the paraglider. So this man is lying. That wasn't the deal.
Well, I suppose I changed my mind. I'm sure that won't be a problem for a young go-getter like you. Since I'm feeling generous, I will also teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again?
Are you joking?
I am afraid not, but do not worry. I have another little trick to share with you for your effort. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate. See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you woke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Also, I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such.
So, the Isolated Plateau has now been updated, so let's check the adventure log. We also have unlocked Heroes Path mode if you have purchased the DLC, but we are not going to go into that. So, the adventure log, the Isolated Plateau. The old man explained that there are a total of 4 shrines on the plateau. He said that he will give you the paraglider once you have acquired the spirit orb from all of the shrines. He told you to survey the plateau from the top of the tower to find some of the remaining shrines, or to find the remaining shrines. He also pointed out that you can use your Sheikah slate if you need to travel quickly. So, before we do that, we also have this special treasure chest right here because we have the DLC. And we have obtained a ruby, which is a precious red gem mined from large ore deposits found throughout Hyrule. Rubies contain the power of fire and have fetched a high price since ancient times. So that's good to know. Let us use Magnesis to push this metallic box as high as possible and drop it and see if it breaks. Looks like it didn't, and instead we scared Santa. We'll try again. One more time. There we go. And we got 5 arrows. Now it's important to also use this rune to help scan the area. you never know if you find hidden metallic objects, like this metallic treasure chest, which contains amber, a fossilized resin with a caramelesque sheen to it. It's been valued as a component in decorations and crafting since ancient times. Now, if we look, we have another metallic treasure chest right here. Let's place this down, open it up, and we found opal, a valuable ore that gives off a mesmerizing iridescence similar to the inside of a seashell. It contains the power of water. Now, remember, we were able to break the metallic box over there, so let's go ahead and pick these up. And we'll give it some momentum and then drop it. And we picked up a roasted bass, which has been cooked whole over an open flame. Its flaky and savory smelling offers more hearts than the raw version. Let's try this again. I'll pull it towards me. Put it all the way up. Push it just a little bit. Drop. And we found some more baked apples. Now we also have some fish right here. So why don't we see if we can grab them. The Hyrule bass, an ordinary fish that can be found all over Hyrule. It can be eaten raw, but cooking it amplifies its healing benefits. So let's swim. Let's dash and see if we can capture that fish. We got 2, 3, there's one more, 4, beautiful. All right. Now, Santa told us that we need to head to the top of that tower, which we can do by teleporting. But before we do that, again, scan the area. See if there's any metallic objects around us. It looks like there is a metallic treasure chest over here. So we'll just get closer, grab it. Oh, I thought it was a treasure chest. Looks like it's a rock, and it's chained to this tree, and we have a hole right here. So what happens if we just put this rock inside the hole? It's a Korok! Yahaha! You found me! Huh? You're not Hestu, but you can see me. I didn't know your kind could see the children of the forest. Well, if you run into Hestu, please return this to him. We have obtained what looks to be our first Korok seed. This small seed was given to you by a Korok. It has a distinct smell. If you gather a bunch of them, you never know what may happen. Oh, and my friends are hiding in lots of different places too. Don't be shy about poking your nose into suspicious places. You heard the Korok. So, we're getting a little distracted. Let's walk around just a little bit longer, see if there's anything metallic that we can access aside from that rock. Looks like that's it. So let's open up our Sheikah Slate and head to the Great Plateau Tower. Travel. Stamina wheel. Swimming depletes your stamina. So we want to make sure that we don't run out of that. And somehow Santa made his way up here. And you're laughing.
Well, you certainly took your time. Did you forget how to travel instantly?
Yep, I forgot.
Open the map on your Sheikah Slate and select one of the blue tower or shrine icons. If you've registered that location to the map, you can travel there instantly. Now then, I wanted you to join me up here so you could use this as a vantage point to search for shrines. Did you know about the scope on your Sheikah Slate? Look through it and you can stick a pin anywhere you'd like to mark on the map.
The scope and pins. View distant things and mark them with pins.
The pins on your map serve as reference points for your travels. Just stick a pin anywhere you're interested in.
I got it.
Go ahead and take a look if you feel inclined to do so.
All right. Well, let's do that. So, Santa mentioned that there's 3 shrines that we need to locate. So, why don't we... Let's see, I believe it's... Here we go. Just had to click the right stick. We have a tower over there. We'll make our way over there eventually, but for now, let's stick a pin on this shrine. And I believe there was another one over here. Let's see. There we go. Here's one. Or technically the second one. And then there should be another one on top of this mountain somewhere. There it is. Let's place our pin. There. We have 3 pins and 3 shrines that we need to find. If you press down, you'll whistle. That typically calls your horses, or your horse, when you get one. But until that happens, if you run by pressing and holding B, that uses stamina. But Nintendo has not fixed this glitch. If you happen to hold that whistle button down and keep tapping the sprint button repeatedly, you can now whistle sprint, is what the technique is called. And we have our first guardian. If this laser hits you, it will kill you. So we want to try and parry it by tapping A as soon as that light flickers. Whew! Press A to deflect an attack with your shield right before it, which lands for a perfect guard. So, that technique might take some time to get used to because it's literally about timing. And again, remember, make sure that you search every guardian that you find. Now it starts, so sometimes we'll run into Stalfos, is what I believe they're called. The good news is, they're pretty easy to defeat. And we just obtained our first bokoblin arm, which a skeletal arm that keeps moving even after it's severed from its body. It's kind of gross to strap it to your back, but it'll do in a pinch. It's old and fragile, so it's quick to break. We need as many weapons as we are allowed to hold. Let's pick up all the supplies. And we can throw a weapon. We have our second shield. And we just picked up our very first Boko Club, which is a crude bokoblin club made to clobber small prey. It's essentially a stick, so its durability is low. And we have now made it to our second shrine. Let's see what's in here. Swimming in cold water will lower your body heat because you take damage. Keep that in mind. So you would want to cook warm food to make sure you don't freeze. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Baij. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial, which is known as the bomb trial. You know what to do. Head to this pedestal, insert your Sheikah Slate. Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling room. Just like that, we have a new rune that provided us with 2 different types of bombs. A bomb that can be detonated remotely. The force of the blast can be used to damage monsters or destroy objects. There are both round and cube bombs, so use whichever best fits the situation. Rune extracted. Bombs are incredibly useful, so obviously we need to press and hold the up button, and then press left or right to switch between the runes. So we have a spherical remote bomb, and then we have a square remote bomb. They each have their use cases. I believe the biggest advantage is the fact that this bomb can roll, whereas the square bomb will be placed securely in a spot. So we'll just place the square bomb right here. Make sure we get out of the way of the blast radius so we don't get hurt. Now let's see what's in this treasure chest. And we just got the Traveler's Claymore, which has double the attack power of my Traveler's Sword. A basic two-handed sword, often wielded by aspiring adventurers. Its immense weight can knock enemy shields right out of their hands. So that's good to know. As you can see, when we detonate our bomb, there's a cooldown right to the bottom left of Link's body. Pay attention to that. Now we have a floating platform right here, which obviously we have to make sure we get on top of, because if we don't, then we're not going to make it over there. Let's go ahead and make sure that we blow up these rocks before we get over there and don't accidentally get within the blast radius. Otherwise, we'll get hurt. There we go. And now we have reached a new area. So we have to make it over there. It looks like we need to blow up those rocks to climb that ladder and make our way over there. But first, let's look over here. We see that there's a treasure chest. And it looks like these moving pillars are bouncing a sphere back and forth, I believe to show you the use case. And we took advantage of that so we can grab this piece of amber. Now, remember when I told you that the spherical bomb can roll? So we're going to head over here. We're going to walk up these stairs. We're going to select our spherical remote bomb. We're going to place it in this little tunnel. We're going to watch it go over there, and then we're going to detonate. And it blew up enough of the rocks to allow us to climb up this ladder. Now remember, let's just place this bomb right here. Make sure we're out of the blast radius. And now we have cleared a path to collect our second shrine orb. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of Goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this spirit orb. And with that, we've obtained our second spirit orb, which is a symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. May the goddess smile upon you. Farewell. Thank you for your help. Fishing. If you use X to dash while swimming, you can get up close and grab a fish. Now, before we had to climb the wall. Now, we can just place this bomb right here. Make sure we're out of the blast radius. Just like that, we've cleared a path. But if you happen to have the DLC purchased, you can pick up this treasure chest right here, which contains the Nintendo Switch shirt, which happens to have the same defensive power as our old shirt. So again, it's an expansion pass bonus. So why don't we go ahead and represent Nintendo? Just because we can. So, that looks like another Guardian that we should probably try to practice on, right? We want to make sure we get our perfect guard down. Remember, when its eye glows, you want to go ahead and tap A. Just like that. Once you've mastered that timing, the Guardians will fear you. Now remember, if we look, we have 2 more pins placed down for the other 2 shrines that we need to explore or access on the Great Plateau. So we're going to go ahead and head to this one, because that is the nearest one. So before we do that, let's look around, make sure we're not missing anything. I encourage you to explore as much as possible. We just got an ancient gear, which is a gear used in ancient machinery. Despite being incredibly old, its build quality is leaps and bounds above anything built using current technology. And we got another ancient spring. Just gonna keep exploring just a little bit. We had 2 geese try to attack us, and we just got an eyeball, ew, a rare material dropped by a defeated geese. It's fun to look at, but it doesn't seem to have much use at first glance. But it must be good for something. And then we also got a geese wing. The wing of a geese. It's covered with very short, sharp fur. It's not much use by itself, but you can mix it with critters to make something useful. The game tries to help you as much as possible. Let's keep heading this way. As we can see the Temple of Time over there, we already explored that area. So, let's see what's over here. Looks like we can't jump down there. We may die. So, Link has the ability to climb almost any surface, which is incredibly useful. But, the trade-off is, there is... Uh-oh. Hold on. We have what is called a Lionel over there. Now, as tempting as it is to test out my battle skills, that Lionel has a lot of health, and unfortunately, at this time, I do not have the gear to take it out. But, when we have mastered, or not necessarily mastered, but when we've managed to obtain some better gear, we'll return to the Great Plateau, and we will fight that Lionel. So let's keep going. I'm going to try and keep my camera on him. And I'm going to crouch because that question mark shows the alert status. And we have some bokoblins that are sleeping. Now I want to show you something cool. If you sneak up to this bokoblin right here, you can do a sneak strike. Now we're going to try and kill it. Now let's see if we can take this one out. We have a claymore, so if you use a 2-handed weapon against an enemy that has a single-handed weapon, you can break its guard and really do some damage on it. Now, I wanted to make sure that I didn't expend all of my stamina, because then it makes it harder to actually protect yourself before he fights you. So I made sure to stop mid-swing by just pressing B to kind of cancel it out. Now, Lionel doesn't see me, and it's roaring in the background, but just make sure you crouch. And ideally, the Lionel won't see you. We have some honey right there. That's going to be useful. I'm going to keep crouching because I'm not sure just how far that Lionel can see. But we just picked up coarser bee honey, which is honey straight from the hive, is chock full of nutrients. Cooking this into a meal unlocks the potential of these nutrients and provides a stamina recovery effect. So, another useful item. As you can see, that shrine is over there. It would be nice if we can climb the side of that mountain to access it, but we currently don't have enough stamina to do so. So we're going to have to go up a route that will provide us a way to get there. And it looks like you cannot see it from here, but that area is going to be pretty cold. So we want to try and get what is known as the warm doublet, which I can actually provide even more instructions on how to do that. So it's actually called the quilted doublet. if we check the southeast region, we can find the hut which belongs to the old man, which is where we're at right now. And we're going to read this old man's diary, or Santa's diary. On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today, I outdid myself, truly. I created the perfect dish. I call it spicy meat and seafood fry. This recipe not only restores health, but it also keeps me warm, even when traveling in the snowy mountains. With this dish on my side, I no longer have need of that itchy, warm doublet. Let's keep reading. I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contained raw meat and spicy pepper. However, I simply cannot remember what else I used. My age is catching up to me. Let's keep reading. Sadly, on this lonely plateau, I have only my own knowledge and memory to rely on. Still, if I did, someone who knew the missing ingredient, I would happily reward them with my warm doublet. However, it seems unlikely that such a miraculous wish will ever be fulfilled. So we need to make this dish. I didn't mean to select that. Let's grab that second spicy pepper. Let's grab an axe. Hey, old man. I hope you slept well. I managed to find your hut.
Fancy that. So we meet again.
What are you doing?
I was just about to go cut down a few trees over there. We'll have to talk later.
All right. Well, short and to the point. Let's go ahead and grab this torch. The torch will stay lit once ignited, but if you put it away, the flame will be extinguished until you light it again. But we have run out of space. So I am going to remove an item. Let's remove this. We'll get rid of this Boko Club. Pick up this torch. It's going to be useful. And we found a pot lid. Doesn't look like it's very strong, but it'll do. Lid of a large soup pot. It smells vaguely of poultry broth. Yum. It can take quite a beating before breaking. So, he mentioned that we need raw meat and Hyrule bass, most likely. But do I have that? And the first thing I want to do, just to make my life easier, is sort it by pressing Y. There we go. And let's see. I have Hyrule bass, but do I have raw meat? Looks like I don't. So, let's see if we can find some raw meat. I see a bird over there. Let's see if that'll do. Sorry, bird. Let's see, anything else over here? I think that's my club that I threw. Have some mushrooms. So, there were spicy peppers in the hut. So, we can try cooking the food with the spicy pepper. We also found a pitchfork that I'm going to need to make space for. A farming tool used to collect hay efficiently. It's light enough to be used by anyone. The 4 prongs are very sharp. Let's get rid of this Boko Club. Grab that. Remember, bombs are useful. Let's blow this up. Let's see, did it drop anything? I see a mushroom over here, which was there before. But that's it. And I hear that Lionel over there, which we really don't want to get its attention. But why don't we talk to the old man? He told us that he would talk to us if we talked to him while he was still cutting trees. And we can cut this tree down to not only collect this apple, but gather more wood. You never know when you're going to need more bundles. Hey, Santa.
Yes, I'm a bit busy right now, as I'm sure you can see.
What are you doing?
I thought this tree here might make for some good firewood. However, getting a tree to fall exactly where you want it to is quite an art. The trick is to turn your hips so that they face where you want the tree to land. So, I see you found my axe. Why not help me out and give it a few swings? I'm working up quite a sweat here, but these bones could use a break.
Okay. So he mentioned he wants me to cut down this tree. So let's do it. Easy there. Look at there. Let's talk to him again.
I see you did my work for me. Wonderful. Go ahead and take some of that wood for yourself. Don't be shy.
Alright, so let's attack it again. Now he mentioned as long as we put our hips facing the direction that we want the tree to fall down, it'll fall down in that way. Okay, just like that, we now have a way across. So let's be careful. Make sure we don't fall. We also have 2 bokoblins over there. Blue bokoblins at that. See if we can sneak up and get a headshot. Now, one trick is to use bombs as well. You can use 2 bombs, but of course, unfortunately, they have a cooldown. And if we charge our attacks, or if we dodge at the last second, we unlock what is called a flurry rush, which is the perfect dodge. So, he is going to try and attack us. So we ran out of stamina, but actually, hold on. What I want to do is use my claymore, because he has a lot of health. And I want to make sure I also don't fall down. So, you know what? Once again, bombs can be really useful. Just make sure you stay out of the blast radius. Keep swinging. And just like that, you'll have seized the victory. Now collect your spoils. Let's see what's over here. You see these cracks? It looks like we can blow it up with a bomb. I'm gonna let it roll over there. Make sure we're out of blast radius. Blow it up. And just like that, we have a treasure chest. 5 fire arrows. Fire arrows break apart on impact, igniting objects in the immediate area. Incredibly effective against cold things. So for now, we'll save those. And let's try whistle sprinting again. So let's hold down the whistle button, repeatedly tap the sprint button, which is B. And just like that, you're not expending any stamina. But let's be careful. Make sure that we keep going slowly. And if we could just find a way to create that recipe that we can get that doublet. Okay, so we want to see if we can clear out this little camp of bokoblins. If we do that, then maybe we can get that treasure chest, which can be incredibly useful. We'll start with this one, because this one will blow a horn at us. There we go. I'll grab that. Oh, he does not like that. You gonna blow your horn? No, you're not. You are gonna run away. All right, I'm gonna swing. You shake the ground like that. Okay, as you can see, I'm down to 1 heart. So it's incredibly important that I eat food, which, remember, we have some cooked food that we found, some baked apples. Restores our health. We're out of normal arrows, so we can use fire arrows. See what happens. Now, I want to save the rest of those for now. Okay, camera angle was unfavorable. But see, we ran out of stamina. Now let's swing. Okay. We did it. Don't stay in the fire too long. You'll be set on fire. However, we're about to lose our claymore because it's badly damaged. So if we throw it, we can get a nice little critical hit. We'll collect those free arrows. And now we have a flaming Boko Club, which will do extra damage. So let's set him on fire. Let's make sure we get out of the fire so we don't get hurt. And just like that, we have cleared our first camp. So let's see what's in this treasure chest. You know what? In case it's a weapon, I'll get rid of that. Hey, we got a throwing spear. A specialized spear weighted to excel as a throwing weapon. It's perfectly balanced to be thrown farther than your average spear, able to pierce targets from a great distance. So that's good to know. We also have these boxes that we can blow up. But you don't have to just blow them up with bombs. You can actually use your torch and set it on fire. It's pretty useful. But pay attention to what's in the box. If it's food, it'll cook. And you want to grab them before they actually get too burned and just turn into ashes. So we just picked up a roasted acorn, which is an acorn cooked with direct heat. Its nutty aroma has been amplified. If you pick this bomb up and then press B, you'll put it away. So once again, let's see what's in these boxes. Get out of the way so that you don't get set on fire yourself. Pay attention and see what materials come out of it. Secure your spoils. Now let's grab this bow if we have the space, which we don't. And there's meat right here, which is a seared steak, raw meat cooked over an open flame. Cooking it has increased its flavor and number of hearts that it provides. So, that looks like it's wood over there. Let's take our torch back out. Let's make our way over here. And let's set this on fire. Maybe it'll clear the path. And it looks like we have bees that we need to be careful about. So, why don't we blow them up?
Yep.
We'll collect our spoils. What's in here? We just got 5 bomb arrows, which contain explosive powder packed into the tips and ignites on impact, dealing big damage to anything caught in the blast. So, one can imagine how many different use cases bomb arrows can be applied for. And we just collected a rushroom, which is a mushroom that can grow almost anywhere, but prefers ceilings and sheer cliffs. Cook it before eating to temporarily increase your movement speed. And then, let's collect those guts. Free arrows. Rushroom. Remember, let's try our whistle sprint ability. Hold the whistle button down. Let's make our way back to the hut. And we're going to try cooking that raw bird drumstick, a pepper, and a Hyrule bass, and see if that is enough to surprise Santa with the recipe that he would be happy to have. Maybe we'll get that doublet. So in order to do that, we need to hold the ingredients. We'll start with our spicy pepper. And then let's find our drumstick. And then a Hyrule bass that we collected earlier. Let's see. Spicy meat and seafood fry. Now I believe this might be what he's looking for. But should you decide to keep it, it grants you 5 hearts of health, and it looks like cold resistance for 3.5 minutes. What are you doing?
This body of mine isn't what it used to be. Recovering from a bout of hard work takes a while. If you're hungry, I have an empty pot you can use to cook yourself a meal.
Well, I cooked something.
Wait, is that? That looks just like my signature perfect dish. Spicy meat and seafood fry. But how did you... Well, I suppose that is not important. Can I trouble you to share the recipe?
Sure.
Of course, Hyrule Bass. How could I have forgotten? Well done. Now please allow me to reward your culinary efforts with this warm doublet.
Hey! The warm doublet. Now, it has the same defensive power as our Nintendo Switch shirt and our old shirt, but it is a warm pullover, typically worn by mountain folk. Its sturdy fabric and thick gloves are great at retaining body heat. And it offers us cold resistance.
With that, you will be able to resist the bite of colder environments. As for me, I know a great spicy meat and seafood fry recipe, so I can do without that warm doublet.
Amazing! So we did it. So why don't we go ahead and equip it? Because I believe we are going to be heading up that mountain, which is covered in snowy terrain. And once again, we're going to use our fun little ability to whistle sprint, hold down that whistle button, and then repeatedly tap your sprint button, which should be B. We're going to make our way up here, which is located behind the Temple of Time. And as you can see, there is a path right here. Let's just go ahead and follow this path. Looks like this seems to be an important area to go to. Now remember, if you sneak, you can collect critters that may be sensitive to hearing or to sound. We've got another summer-winged butterfly. We'll ignore them for now, as we don't need it, but we will go ahead and collect these spicy peppers. Now, there's a treasure chest over there, and what we want to do is go ahead and not allow those Octoroks to float up. Now, actually what I did, I would not recommend, as we now have to go in the cold water. But we really want those ice arrows, so we're gonna risk it. I do not recommend. Ice arrows! A bundle of 5 ice arrows. They break apart on impact, freezing objects in the immediate area. Now, this is gonna kill me pretty quickly, and we don't want to die. So, let's go ahead and just eat as much as we can until we get back to land. Whew! That was close. And remember, search these guardian remnants. Let's collect that wood. Let's collect a Korok leaf, which a single swing of this giant sturdy leaf can create a gust of wind strong enough to blow away light objects. These will sometimes fall off trees as they're chopped down. But we don't have space, so let's make space. Let's get rid of the spear. We don't really need that. Let's collect this wood. Now, we could head over there, but that's going to be the last shrine that we explore. So why don't we head up this path? And just to speed things up, we'll use our little ability that we learned. Now, because we're in the snowy area, unfortunately our sprint speed has been reduced. But we're going to keep going. Okay. Whoa. Ah, didn't see them. But there is treasure over there. So let's save our... So we froze this enemy. So if we were to hit them with a weapon, it's going to do critical damage. Now remember, Flurry Rush is if you dodge the last second, you get rapid attacks in. So if I press and hold with the spear, uh-oh. Remember, you want to pay attention to your health. Look at that. Let's freeze him. Actually, our spear's about to break. So why don't we... Let's just blow him away. Okay, that's not working. And I don't want to lose my leaf just yet, so we'll just use this arm. There we go. Let's see what's in this treasure chest. 5 arrows. Incredibly useful. Alright. Now remember, we're following that blue pin that we found. We have more enemies that we have to face. There we go. There we go, Flurry Rush! As you can see, your weapons can break fairly quickly. Make sure you dodge as much as you can. It's important to stay as stocked as you can when it comes to weapons, as they can break easily and quickly. Alright, so stock up. So I'm going to go back and get this Boko Club. And all these free arrows. Ow. We got to be careful. Now we have 12 arrows, so we can snipe right back. Now remember, this is Master Mode, so their health will regenerate. So we want to kill him as fast as we can. Thanks for the free arrows. Okay, now, we also could have used bombs to set off these barrels that would explode. So we are almost there. We've almost made it to our 3rd shrine. Let's just keep going. What's over here? Look at the scenery. Look how massive this world is. I can't wait to explore it some more. Now, it's down there. Oh, I do not recommend falling that way, as it can hurt. So once again, we'll go ahead and eat some. The Daim Shrine. Let's see what's in here. Remote bombs are useful for not only dealing damage to enemies, but so many other things. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Daim. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial, which is the Stasis trial. All right. Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling rune. We now have our 3rd rune, which is the Stasis rune. Stop the flow of time for an object. Stops an object in time while storing its kinetic energy. The stored energy will act upon the object when the flow of time resumes. Making good use of the stored energy can move even the largest of objects. Okay, so we'll go ahead and equip our Stasis rune. We want to make sure that we stop that gear from moving or rotating so that we can make it across. Let's make sure we get across this fast enough. And as we can see, we have a rolling boulder that comes at us between certain intervals. So let's make sure we stop it in time before we get hurt. Now, there is a treasure chest back here, so let's make sure that we run up there so we don't get hit by that boulder. We got a traveler's shield. Now, we will have to make room for it, but it is a sturdy shield loved by many an adventurer. It is made of animal hide and sturdy wood, and is best suited to defending against weak monsters or animals. So let's go ahead and remove the pot lid of destiny. Let's run down, because we don't have to bother stopping that. And we have a hammer over here. Let's make sure we have room for that. We'll get rid of one of these Boko clubs. This large iron sledgehammer was originally used for mining, but it works reasonably well as a weapon, too. So, we need to move this. So let's stop the time and hit this multiple times, at least 3 times. And use the power of the kinetic energy to move it out of our way. And just like that, we now have access to our 3rd monk. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of Goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this spirit orb. A symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. That is now our 3rd spirit orb. May the goddess smile upon you. Thank you. Rest in peace. I will save Hyrule. The Great Plateau. We now have 1 shrine left to go. And then, supposedly, we will get our paraglider. Okay. So what we want to do is head down this way. Let's make sure that we don't drop from too high up. We might get hurt. Let's land in the snow. Should be okay. And let's use that special technique that I mentioned. Whistle sprinting. Now, eventually you'll be able to get a horse. And you'll be able to travel a lot quicker. But where we're at, we don't have that luxury. So we want to make our way up here as fast as we can. Let me protect my hammer for now. And I see what looks to be a brown-looking bokoblin, so we'll just call that one level 3. And I don't think we really want to fight that one. I think we want to try and avoid it. And he just went to sleep, so this is perfect. So what we're going to do is we are going to first get rid of that. We're going to take his weapon. Uh-oh. Looks like he sees us. Not good. But that's okay. Okay, remember, maybe we can blow him off. No. Yeah. Can we blow him off the cliff? No, I don't think so. So let's just see if we can knock him off this way. All right, that's how much health they have, which is too much. So, you know what? We are going to use this hammer. Come on. We need our stamina to come back. There we go. And let's go ahead and make space for that shield. Let's drop this one. Pick up this Boko shield. What's in here? Amber. One would argue that that was not worth the cost of those valuable weapons. And I don't really think I'm going to argue with them. I agree. So let's continue heading up this snow path. Love the land so much. I think we're almost there. Let's run up this path. Almost there. Hey, look, it's Santa. Always up here.
The fierce cold atop these mountains can take quite a toll as the night sets in.
It's a breathtaking view.
This may be the best place to get a full view of the entire plateau. Use your scope to look for shrines. When you locate one, place a pin on your map as a marker.
Fun fact, up here, you can get this doublet that I'm wearing if you did not manage to make that recipe earlier. But that's where we want to go. So we're going to make our way down here. And you see these circle of rocks? You remember that Korok that we encountered earlier in the video? There's one space right here that looks like another rock could simply complete this puzzle. Let's see if we are correct. Maybe we'll get something. You found me! Thanks for now our second seed. There's going to be quite a lot of seeds for you to collect. So make sure you pay attention to your environment. You never know. You could run into one. Now we are going to whistle sprint our way over there. Oh, you know what? I think the treasure chest is over here, actually. We have some friends. If you destroy these Stalfos skulls, that's when they will actually perish. Collect your spoils. I'll leave the rest on the ground for now. There it is, that treasure chest. So you can climb up there and grab it, but remember our Magnesis rune has the ability to grab metallic objects? Looky there. It's all about working smarter, not harder. What is this? 5 more bomb arrows. Why don't we put them to good use? I think we have some friends up here. They're gonna try and attack me. And we are not about that, are we? Alright, there's 2, 3. Just like that. Thanks, DLC. And we'll use our axe to break this barrel. But there's nothing in there. And we are now almost to our 4th shrine. It has been a long journey. The Namut Shrine. Let's see what awaits us in our 4th shrine. Attacking objects stopped by stasis will make them... What? The loading was just simply too fast. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Namut. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. The Cryonis trial. You know what to do? Let's insert our Sheikah slate into this pedestal. Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling rune. And just like that, we now have the Cryonis rune, which allows us to create a pillar of ice from a water surface. Builds ice pillars that are very stable. These pillars can be used as stepping stones or as obstacles. Use Cryonis on an ice pillar to break it. So we're going to put that to the test. See if we can make our way up here. Use this as a stepping stone. Might be too far, but I think if I can sprint and jump, I'll be okay. There we go. I believe we're going to have a guardian over here, but before we get there, let's use Cryonis to lift this gate up. There we go. Let's use our bomb arrows to make quick work of this guardian. One would argue that that is overkill. And I don't necessarily disagree, but here we are. What's in this treasure chest? A traveler spear. We'll take it. Cryonis can be incredibly useful. Let's go ahead and use this to allow us to make our way up here. And just like that, we have managed to complete the Cryonis Shrine. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of Goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this spirit orb. Yes! A symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. May the goddess smile upon you. Thank you, Namut. Rest in peace, monk. We will save Hyrule. Now, we've held up our end of the bargain. Santa should be offering us the paraglider now, right?
Ho!
Santa?
With this, you have now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first, imagine an X on your map with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where 2 lines connecting the shrines would cross. There, I will be waiting.
So, the Isolated Plateau has been updated in the adventure log. After we acquired the spirit orbs from the shrines, the old man told you that he'll be waiting in the place centered amid the 4 shrines before mysteriously disappearing. So let's open up our map. So, here are our 4 shrines. 1, 2, 3, I'm sorry, that's the Great Plateau Tower. 3, 4. So, right in the middle would probably be around this area, but considering that there's nothing of substance over here that would be interesting to meet Santa, we're going to go to the Temple of Time. Now, how do we get over there? I know of a way. Why don't we try and get down here quicker? If you jump in the air, and then press the left trigger, and then B to take out your shield, you can do what is called shield surfing. But I want to make sure that I don't accidentally shield surf to my death. Let's try it. See that? It's pretty useful. The game hasn't really told us this yet, but I want to make sure that I share that with you now. We need to make our way over there. So, how do we get over there? Well, there happens to be a bridge over here. That's going to be our best bet. And we want that treasure. Last time I accidentally blew it up. So let's just pop the balloons, or the Octoroks. Just make sure he can't do quick work on me. Be careful. Now we managed to grab shock arrows. And a soldier's bow, which we will absolutely make space for. And that bow over there is also stronger than the other bows that I have. So I'll drop that one as well. And we are going to use Cryonis to create stepping stones. Remember, we don't want to land in this water. We may die. And I don't know if I'm going to make it in time. Yep, I don't think so. You can only have 3 at a time? Ah! Oh no. I think I missed it. Let's wait. Let's be a little bit more patient. There we go. We got our prize. The spiked Bokobo. Now let's head over here. Make sure that we use our Magnesis rune to grab this metal object and use this as a bridge. Otherwise, we could die. There we go. Now, let's make our way to the Temple of Time. We are going to whistle sprint as much as possible. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I happen to know a trick. Oh, hold on. We have not encountered those before. Let's be careful to not get caught in their ice blasts. We just collected white choo-choo jelly, which is a jiggly substance that came from an ice choo-choo. It's cool to the touch, and squeezing it seems to relieve stress. If struck, it will explode in a cold mist. Okay. Now, people who have watched me play Breath of the Wild in the past know that I happen to know a trick to help me travel faster. But I'm not going to use it because that is another glitch that, I don't feel we should be using at the moment. We want to enjoy this playthrough as much as we can. Now, if we can find a hill, we might be able to shield surf down there, which can speed things up just a little bit. There's the Temple of Time. Let's try. Looks like it works. Gotta be careful. Let's avoid those bokoblins if we can. This shield's about to break, so we're actually going to switch to a different one. There we go. Now this one's badly damaged. Alright, let's climb. On the other side, actually, because I know this, we are going to go over to the goddess Hylia. And we are going to pray. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their spirit orbs, I can offer you great power. It appears you have claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange for 4 spirit orbs, I will amplify your being. So tell me, what it is that you desire. Well, you have the option to increase your health or your stamina. I suggest stamina because of the amount of ways that Link utilizes it. But it is purely preference. It could be smarter to actually, one would argue, increase your health since this is Master Mode and enemies do more damage. But until then, we have obtained our very first stamina vessel, which increases our stamina wheel. There we go. The start of a second ring. Yes, we will bring peace to Hyrule.
Oh!
Santa?
The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here quickly.
All right. You heard the man. We need to make our way up there. Let's see. Over here, looks like we have a ladder. Let's climb it. You can jump by pressing X, but as you can see, it uses stamina, so we don't want it to run out. Let's be careful. We don't want to fall. Okay, there we go. Now let's climb across this rooftop. Let's go speak to the old man.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rhoam Bosphoramus Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age-long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight bravely collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here is the Paraglider, just as I promised. Finally! An item that you received from the king on the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. Press X while you're in the air to use it. And with that, the main quest, known as the Isolated Plateau, has been completed. We should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. The main quest, Destroy Ganon, has a new objective. The main quest, Seek Out Impa, has a new objective. So we will start by making our way to Kakariko Village. But with that, we have completed the Great Plateau main quest. Let's finish this off by checking to see what was in that treasure chest, which is a bow that I will absolutely make space for. And I think that is going to do it. That will be the end of our very first video of Breath of the Wild Master Mode. And I hope that you enjoyed this as much as I have. And if you want to see more of this content, please let me know in the comments below. And also, Easter egg, share your experience with Breath of the Wild. What was your reaction when you first played this game, when you first explored the Great Plateau, when you first learned more about the king and more? I want to know, because I absolutely love the Legend of Zelda series, and I know you do as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.